Our top stories. The day after Diwali, a day when pollution levels in the NCR traditionally peak to levels where the city becomes a gas chamber. This year, much was said and done. A complete cracker ban for one in Delhi. Has Delhi therefore passed or failed the pollution litmus test? Well, the numbers are not great, but have shown some improvement. Pollution levels post-Diwali were in the very poor category in Delhi. But hey, the fact is that the Environment Minister is claiming they have been the best they are in the last 5 years. Let's quickly listen into the reactions that have come in before I go to my guests.
पिछले 5 साल में सबसे कम प्रदूषण का स्तर सुबह सुबह मापा गया है। कुछ लोगों ने फिर भी पटाखे जलाए थे। मुझे उम्मीद है कि उनकी भी समझदारी धीरे धीरे बढ़ेगी, अवेयरनेस बढ़ेगी और अगले साल हम सभी दिल्ली वाले मिल करके प्रदूषण के स्तर को और कम करने में दिवाली के अगले दिन कामयाब होंगे।
So has Delhi passed the Diwali pollution litmus test? I'm putting that question to our guests this evening who are joining us on the broadcast. We have Nikhad Abbas, who's a BJP leader, who is with us on the broadcast. Syed Asad Abbas is a political analyst with us. Dr. B.S. Murthy is the project director at IITM Safar. And Vimlendu Jha is an environmentalist. He's joining us as well. So is Bhavreen Kandari, who's a social analyst, also a very strong citizen voice. Dr. Murthy, I'm coming to you first. We've seen these numbers that have come to us. We are being told by way of the AQI levels that post-Diwali, which means this morning, the pollution levels were, yes, in the very poor category, but that's still better than what they have been in the last 5 years. What's your takeaway from the numbers that we have got? In your view, has Delhi passed the litmus test, the pollution litmus test, or has it failed it?
Yes, definitely. This Diwali, usually before Diwali, pre-Diwali, it was moderate to poor condition. So on Diwali day, we expected that it will go to severe because of various reasons as expected for so many years. But this Diwali, it has just reached in very poor category only. So it has not crossed very poor and then reached severe. So it's a better Diwali compared to last so many years.
Okay, but is it because of wind? We've seen moderate winds in the national capital as well. Is it because of that, do you think, or is it because of the complete cracker ban? Of course, the complete cracker ban has, went up in smokes in Delhi, but we do understand that at least the Environment Minister of Delhi is saying that this time they saw 30% less cracker burning than they did last year. So why do you think Delhi has managed to just about pass in this test, if not fail at all? Is it because of the wind? Is it because of the measures taken?
There could be multiple factors. One is Delhi's pollution mainly depends on how much is emissions on Diwali day, and as well as any transport from upwind direction like stubble burning emissions, how much they contribute to Delhi's pollution. Okay, 23rd emissions will affect Delhi's pollution on Diwali. Means one day it takes, because it is about 400 kilometers away from Punjab and Haryana. So there are multiple effects. In addition to that, the stubble emission contribution is very meager this year. It has not crossed even 5%. It is less than 5% till now. So, and then the pre-Diwali there were heavy rains. So the air quality was in a moderate and poor category. Only on the Diwali day, it has gone to very poor.
Okay, so essentially you are telling us that there were rains in October in Delhi and the National Capital Region. Also the farm fires, the Parali you're saying, so far has only caused 5% pollution, which means it's not to the levels that it was in previous years. Vimlendu Jha, would you want to come in here? Look, the fact is that I've spent so many... All right. Vimlendu Jha, would you want to come in here? The fact is that I've spent many Diwalis in the National Capital Region. And while I could hear firecrackers being burst all around, there were societies and colonies that were mindful of the ban that has been put in place and weren't bursting firecrackers. When you woke up in the morning today, did you feel it's not as bad as it could be?
Yeah, Shreya, so it wasn't as bad as we expected, but it was still very, very bad. As in Delhi's AQI in several parts of Delhi last night and in the morning, PM 2.5 levels were almost 30 times, 40 times worse than the permissible limits. And therefore, imagine we did not hear anything from the Delhi government. We don't even have our Delhi government representative on today's panel. Last 1 week, they've been boycotting every discussion that is related to air pollution or public health of Delhi citizens. So it's very, very unfortunate. As Mr. Murthy told you, the reason why the situation was slightly better, indeed, perhaps there was certain amount of restraint by the citizens of Delhi, but more than that, it was the weather conditions. Please understand that last year, Diwali was on November 4th, so Diwali came slightly early. Stubble burning, the contribution as per suffer, it's been around 3%, 3 to 4% only. The wind direction, the rain, all of that together is what perhaps created a better morning after for citizens of Delhi, and therefore it's not the contribution or it's not the effort of the government. As since morning we've seen the Chief Minister of Delhi, the Environment Minister of Delhi suddenly talk about air pollution, suddenly self-congratulating. This is not governance that has actually cleaned Delhi's air. Delhi's air is slightly better. Imagine if indeed cities should shut down if the air quality index is 300, 350. It's bad enough. It's killing enough for everyone, but that's not because of our government at all. As in, today also we were talking about it, the measures that is in the command of the government, be it the cleaning machines. There are 200 of water sprinklers that are missing. There's no construction demolition activities or safe disposal of that. There's a deficit of public transport. And as Dr. Murthy was talking about, that, right now, this is not whatever pollution that we have, around 350 AQI or more in certain areas, it's Delhi's own. It's not the stubble as yet. And it's not just the firecrackers. You and I had a similar discussion last week when there were no firecrackers. Indeed, firecrackers spiked the air quality last evening and morning after, but it is somewhere, the ongoing perennial issues that completely government lives in denial about. Government doesn't talk about it. Government just congratulates itself. And this is rain gods. First 2 weeks of unprecedented rain, monsoon, delayed stubble burning, early Diwali, perhaps some bit of restraint by the citizenry. All of that has made situation slightly better than very, very worse.
Slightly better, Syed, yes, but maybe not because of the government, but perhaps because of the weather. So while we had the environment minister step out today, give a soundbite, you had Arvind Kejriwal tweet on the issue as well, putting out the figures and saying, look, in the last 5 years, this is the best post-Diwali we have had, etc., etc. It's more a product and a function of weather, says Vimlendu, than governance.
Well, Shahji, I'm very privileged and honored to be on the dais with Mr. Vimlendu Jha, Bhavrin ji. I've debated several times. They've made some legitimate points for which I also concede to. I come from Bangalore and the weather is just so beautiful, without sounding pompous here. But nevertheless, now addressing the Delhi issue, yes, it is an issue. I'd say it's a national disaster. Management needs to come through. This is absolutely catastrophic. I'm a frequent traveler to Delhi, and when I land at the airport, it is absolutely not okay. But the fact of the matter we need to understand is, Mr. Vimlendu, Mrs. Bhavrinji, we've had this discussion. There needs to be a political will and a political intent which needs to come through. Is this only Delhi-based? No. Which are the governing states which are coming across? Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, we also see Punjab, and then Delhi. So therefore, we see two governments ruling here. One is the Aam Aadmi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Precisely the reason why I have come together and time and again said that these respective political parties need to cut across party lines. When the Environment Minister of Delhi, Shri Gopal Rai ji, did try to establish contact with Shri M.L. Khattar Saab, the Chief Minister of Haryana, also the Ministry of Home Affairs with Amit Shah, they didn't pay any heed. It just fell on deaf ears. Why so? This is not just about two parties. Our respective netas of all parties, Congress, AAP, BJP, are breathing the same air. Not just them, but even the little kids whose lungs are being damaged. The fact of the matter we need to understand is stop this political blame game. Come to solutions. Today, it's not about discussing only problems, but leading to solution. When we spoke of Parali, what did the Aam Aadmi government do? when Bhagwant Mann came into power, compensation was announced. It was Farmers Association came together, 2,500 rupees per acre to stop the stubble farming compensation. Aam Aadmi Party under Bhagwant Manji gave 1,000 rupees to the farmers, whereas the central government, even till date, as I speak, 6:15 p.m. to this day, they have still not released that amount of rupees, 1,500 rupees. I
Okay.
truly believe that Modi ji needs to take
Okay, but
very,
the
very
fact
serious
is, no, but
cognizance of this effort. Just 30 seconds, Shreyaji.
no, fact
Modi ji,
is that
our honorable
fact
Prime
also
Minister,
is
Delhi is
that
the
Safar is
capital
telling
of
us,
the
Safar is
India,
telling
and
us,
therefore all the
Mr.
respective
Abbas and Dr.
parties.
Murthy is telling us that the paralis have not even started. And in any case, I mean, this while we are in the paralis season, this is not the full flow. Parali is
No,
again
no,
3
no,
to
Shreyaji.
5% of Delhi's pollution right now. It will increase. It will increase, but that's not happening right now.
No, no,
So
Shreyaji,
for the
Parali,
moment, let's
Parali
keep
is
Parali out
happening.
of this conversation.
Shreyaji, myself, and Bhavrinji were on another debate, and the national senior anchor did mention about her flight in Punjab and how did she did see Parali. Parali is taking place. It's not that it's not. Bhavrinji is also
No, no,
testimony to the fact.
no,
It is
it
taking
is
place.
taking place. It is taking place, but it is not. Is it taking place to the level that it will eventually, in the next 10-15 days, or like it did during Diwali last year? So I'm saying while our reporters in Punjab are sending us reports of Parali as well, it's not at levels where it is impacting Delhi disastrously, as it were. And this is what Safar is saying. Just come in here, Mr. Murthy, and tell us what is right now the contribution of paralis of farm fires from Punjab to Delhi's pollution. You said 3 to 5%, right?
Yes, yes. Because you see, how much contribution comes from this stubble burning depends on many factors. One is how much is burnt there, what is the area, how much is burnt, and then the weather conditions. Because this is transported at a higher level, what is the wind speed and direction at that level? Whether it is a northwest or westerly. If it is from westerly, it may not contribute much to Delhi's pollution. If it is exactly northwesterly, means where burning is going on, then it will be transported to Delhi. Okay, as far as satellite measurements are concerned about fire counts, they are less than 1,000 till now, as of now. It may increase further because October, November is the peak. November first week is the peak period for the highest count we have observed so far in last so many
Correct.
years. So it is yet to come. As of now, it is a meager. Its contribution
It is yet to
meager
peak.
only. It has not reached peak.
Okay, it is yet to peak. Early November
Yes,
is when it, yeah,
yes, yes.
early November is when it usually peaks. And last year, Diwali was on November 4th, if I remember correctly, which is why the pollution levels were soaring there. And look, fact is, Abbas, as and when the Parali fires peak and cross this 1,000 mark, right now they are hovering in the 1,000 mark, obviously the contribution of Parali to Delhi's pollution will increase, which means that the Aam Aadmi Party will be asked questions when that happens. And you should be prepared for those questions. But Nikhad Abbas, you're a BJP leader, and the BJP needs to be prepared for some answers as questions as well. For example, yesterday when there's a complete ban in the national capital on firecrackers, we still had some of your netas very proudly put out pictures of burning firecrackers right outside the police colony. What do you say to that behavior?
Thank you, Shreya, for having me on your debate. First of all, I'd like to say that it is very great that Delhi's government, Aam Aadmi government, and the ministers there are trying to take credit for something which is very poor. Apparently, they're feeling that they've done a lot of work in kind of making the environment better in terms of banning the crackers and all of that. What is happening right now is the natural behavior of the environment. That is the reason the environment is much better than it was last year, maybe last year, and other than 5 years. It is about that right now. And burning crackers, let's come to that situation and condition and things about that. So my friend, we need to realize that in the entire country, the crackers were burned, the green patakas were burned, the children were having fun, the families were having fun. But right now in Delhi, just because Arvind Kejriwal wanted to, brush the things under the carpet, and he wanted to wash his hands off, saying that environment is better and I'm doing this and that for that. It is about one day, as we always speak. The cracker burning is just for one day, and people people need to enjoy. This has been since so many decades and centuries. It is not for the first time that we have been burning crackers. It has been there since centuries. Why do you want the children of this generation not to enjoy the crackers? I understand the concern about the pollution, but that is why we've created and come up with the solution of green crackers. Maybe you can just limit the time that only 1 hour would be allowed, or maybe you can just allow only green crackers. That is what the entire nation has done. But Arvind Kejriwal wants to unnecessary push off everything for the crackers and not even think about when he has the government in Punjab that the stubble burning. We all know. I don't know how come every one of the panelists is kind of declining the stubble burning, but it has increased in the past 10 days tremendously in Punjab, and people have actually gone there and seen that. I mean, news channels are covering that. Even yours is covering that. Why aren't we addressing that issue?
Yeah, obviously, Nikhat, because this is the stubble burning season. So obviously farm fires will increase. A, B.
Yes, but then
they have not
doesn't come in
they
power
will
and
peak
say that
early
we're not
November.
going to do any kind of
And
Karavahi investigation and all of that, saying against the people who are burning stubble. It is about that you have to put everything in sorted situation. You can't just push off everything on one thing that
so therefore, exactly. So you're saying, yeah. So you're saying, Nikhat, essentially that every little measure counts, right? That's the argument you're making.
Of course
That's the argument you're making, that every little measure counts. Yeah. When
Shreya,
there is and the Supreme Court has upheld this ban.
Allow me for 30
By the way,
seconds, Shreya.
the Supreme Court has upheld this
I
ban,
have waited for
and
about
they are
15
saying
minutes.
let the city breathe, and yet you have members of the BJP on Diwali day outside the police colony and all over burn crackers and put out their pictures on social media to say, look, we have done this. We have won. Who has won this war? This is a war we are losing.
That's exactly what I'm saying. This has been there since so many years. It is not for the first time. We see the environment minister not speaking about environment any of the days, but today post Diwali, because of the natural environment, the environment is much better. I don't know what is much better actually. I should correct myself. It's not much better. It's very poor. It shows on your channel. And the environment minister of Delhi is coming and trying to take the credit and doing the PC. Has he done PC ever to kind of install the smog towers in the state? Has he come ever to talk about
he
the
does. Today,
water sprinkling by the Delhi government? It has been done all the time by MCD. Can he not take things? Have you ever seen him talking about the budget he's been giving
what I find odd is
environment pollution and not doing anything but including
I will give you one point. I will give you one point, Nigat.
Marketizing.
I'll give you one point. I find it odd that the Aam Aadmi Party doesn't want to send a representative on any debate linked to pollution. Today, we were actually marking a slight improvement in Delhi's air, and one would think that the Aam Aadmi would at least come and be part of the debate, because it seems that what they are trying to do, at least they are succeeding somewhere, and they still didn't want to be part of the panel. So I'll give you that one there. But again, as I said, not fair for your leaders of the BJP, A, to go to court to try and reverse this cracker ban, and B, given the fact that there's a complete cracker ban, to go out on Diwali, burn crackers and say, look, hey, we did it. I mean, I just think it's silly. Bhavrin, come in here. Look, fact is that on Diwali day, were we expecting complete silence as far as crackers are concerned? Absolutely not. Many people will say that the cracker ban went up in smokes. The Environment Minister of Delhi has come out to say that this time you had 30% less crackers being burst in Delhi than previous years. What is your assessment of the air that you saw today, and whether the measures that have been put in place are actually working, or whether it's too early to say right now?
Shreya, my co-panelists, Mr. Murthy and Vemlendu, very clearly have, given all the reasons. I will not get into repeating that why it was less. But this term of, likely less or improved is extremely sad, because, I don't agree with my co-panelist from BJP here at all, whatever she said, except for the fact that, yes, we are in very poor. So what do you think? Like giving a little less poison today to my children, is it fair enough? Is it fine? Is that the way we deal? That if you come home from somewhere and your staff or your parents, somebody tell you that today I gave less poison to your child, how will you react? So this is, as a citizen, it is absolutely nonsensical, this argument. We cannot be at peace, and that is the way our government and leaders should feel. They should not be at peace till the time we don't come to an AQI 20 and that is the time to rejoice. I don't know what is it that at a very poor, we are actually celebrating and we are trying to accomplish, because the problem is that, right now, both the governments or everybody for that matter, all the politicians, leaders, they're all trying to use this whole thing as a campaign, not understanding really that this is a public health emergency. That yes, the children here, every third child has damaged lungs already, and probably by now when I'm saying the number could have been more. And it's just so sad to see this kind of an attitude that every source of pollution is important right now. Will you be able to, I don't know, when you discuss about crackers, I just think that probably air is invisible and we don't see how the toxicity that we are breathing and we're giving to our children. Will you give a glass of dirty water right now, offer it to them, please? The panelists here, will they drink it? Will they offer it to their children? No, they will not. They will throw it there. But unfortunately, that's exactly what we are going to compromise and have these ridiculous arguments on, on whether crackers or why, and enjoying. Come on, you enjoy? You enjoy when your children are being given poison? Is it enjoyment? Don't you teach your children not to get into something that is so toxic? We've all done that. We've all done that. 40 years ago, we've all done this. But we have to understand that the air is in a terrible, terrible state, and we are in an emergency, and everything has to come to a stop. So it's not crackers. It's also about the construction. It's also about the vehicular. We don't come here, Vimlendu, I can speak for Vimlendu as well, and myself. We don't speak on crackers only. We are working all year round to bring at least support with good policy and plans that the government should take, that we should have congestion charges, we should have emission charges on vehicles, we should have a good public transport system, we should have a fantastic waste management system. That's the slap center should give to the Delhi government. And the Delhi government should not be giving tree cutting permissions to the center if they're asking. They're all doing the same things all year round. And then why do we debate at this point of time? Because, the damage has been done. We got one good air day all throughout the year till September. So is that something to rejoice? Is there something to celebrate? No, it's not. At 118 or I think 123, there are countries that have shut down schools, and we are living a normal life.
Bhavri, yeah, I know. I mean, I understand the point you're making. The point you're making is that we have normalized air pollution to a level where if we continue to be in the very poor category and don't touch severe, we feel we are doing great. And that essentially is a problem, because we have normalized the sort of toxic air we breathe. But Bhavri, very quickly before I let you go and before I let my panelists go, I just have 20 seconds. I never see citizens taking any onus for pollution in their city. For example, I know cracker ban is a very, it's a very small category of pollutants, etc. But on Diwali day, it does become important. You had people burning crackers, right? In the national capital, in colonies where even burning crackers was banned. In the city of Delhi, burning crackers is banned, and yet till 3 o'clock at night, you had people bursting crackers. So where is citizen responsibility? सब कुछ सरकार पे नहीं डाला जा सकता ना, Bhavri?
Shreya, no, that's fine, Shreya, but can I say something? This is something I'm speaking all over the world. Laws are everywhere. We have fantastic laws in India also. The laws have to be enforced. Will anyone try burning a cracker out of turn in Singapore or in the West or in the US or in the UK where you're not? Last time the Diwali was when the COP was happening, COP26 in Glasgow, and there was half hour, 4:30 to 5 a.m. in the morning. They had this, time to burn crackers, and that is the time. Would anybody be doing this at 5:45? No, because the law enforcers will take them to task. This is the way. This is the way Motor Vehicle Act has come into Delhi. This is the way we are learned to wear seat belts. This is the way we will learn to segregate our waste. Okay. You will have to penalize the elite, the rich, and you will have to incentivize the poor. Only then it's going to work. Similarly, the crackers. Now, people who have defied the ban, they should be, especially the ones who have challenged the authorities. I think it's a shame on the authorities if you're not able to. Somebody's them and showing them a middle finger. They should be taking them in right now. What are they waiting for? Even if you have 30 examples today in Delhi, you watch next year, the difference will be made. Not next year. Why should we wait for Diwali? Because we are getting Christmas and we're getting Eid and Gurpurab, and we're getting cricket matches and weddings. So that's what we need to do. And it's the law enforcement agencies who have to take a stand now. Otherwise, nothing is going. The leaders have to lead, and the agencies have to enforce.
We leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bhavreen, for joining us. Nikhat, good to have you on the show. Saeed Abbas, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Dr. Murthy trying to explain to us why possibly we saw low pollution levels a day after Diwali in Delhi. And Vimlendu Jha, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much.